Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Anklet beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup Lockdown, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 41. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group and on Instagram at Love After Lockup Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we're covering Season 2, Episode 41. It's an episode of Life After Lockup titled Manipulate the Manipulator. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Some of you may know by now that bonus Mondays are back. We have gotten several requests because people are finishing the episodes quickly and then they want more. So they've already listened to everything and they don't have enough to listen to. We can't promise that we're going to do it every Monday, but we're trying. We're trying to bank episodes so that we can get that out for you. Want to do specials when we have the where are they nows and stuff. So we'll be doing that. Also, we want you guys to tell us what you love about the podcast, maybe things that made you laugh, and you can throw quotes in the Facebook group or on our page, whatever. Any of that we welcome. So if you just want to quote us, and which has happened before, perfectly fine. It also lets people in the group know that we are a podcast, we exist. We definitely know in the Facebook group that people do go back and watch from episode 1, and there are a lot of rewatchers, and they can follow along if they're rewatching and correlate it with the episodes of our podcast and see what we thought.
Wonderful. Well, this week we start with Angela and Moist Tony. And Angela's on the porch smoking a cigarette, and Donna Faye pulls up.
Yeah, so Angela has kicked Tony out of her life for now.
Tony's stuff is all over the front yard. It looks like she just opened her door and started tossing his stuff out there.
I've done that, so I get it. I have done that. I have put someone's entire life on my lawn. And that's basically what she's done here. Angela says that it is more than just cheating. It's been threesomes, trading sex for free rooms, and she's just unloading on her sister. And I'm surprised she was being honest with her.
I think it's more being honest with herself that is surprising. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she'd tell Donna Faye the truth, but she's not going to tell herself the truth. She's not going to be like, Tony is a piece of shit.
She said he's a piece of shit time and time again, yet
Right.
her actions speak otherwise. This is the most we've ever seen her do. However, we will see how this manipulative man just sneaks his way back in. And I'm not judging Angela because I totally get it. I've been in this position before. She says she hopes he doesn't come back, but he has nowhere to go. That line right there just shows you where this is going.
Right. And she's nervous because his address for parole is at her house. And she's like, he's going to come back. He's going to weasel his way back into my life. But she knows this and she knows why he's doing it. And somehow he's still managing to pull it off.
Yeah, he's opportunistic, and he just basically needs a permanent place to live, because otherwise he would 1000% be living in one of those motel rooms with a prostitute. You definitely know it. That can't happen. That would just be weird. You have just Moist Tony sitting in the corner in his tracksuit, just watching his his hoes and their tricks? No, that's not a thing.
I mean, he's made for it. He's slimy enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Donna Faye says she told Angela from the beginning that Tony was up to no good. And she did. Like, she was never supportive of this even before she met him. And I don't feel like because it's Tony, she didn't really need to give him a chance, but she did. And he fucked up. And she's like, I'm not ready to give him another chance. And you shouldn't be either.
The only reason why she was giving him any chance at all was because she loves her sister. That's it.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Hmm.
And then Angela is very honest with her and tells her that he proposed to her and that she accepted.
And Donna Faye says, to be so educated, you sure are dumb. And you know what? That I have thought the same thing. Not that it's just the way that she's acting. You know what I mean? Like, you're a smart woman. But I think we're all guilty of this at some point in time in our lives, of just making really bad decisions over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, you and I have expressed that we've done that in our lives, and clearly we are not dumb women either. It just happens. And part of it is being empathetic. You're just naturally empathetic, and this is just you're therefore more easily manipulated. It doesn't mean that you're dumb.
So Donna Faye says Angela has the need to heal someone because she's a nurturer. And I think that's true. You know, she can rescue him, she can save him.
Yeah, that 1000% a part of what's going on here.
And then Donna Faye tells her that love is overrated and do not let him come back. Next up, Brittany and Marcelino. And Brittany says she supports Marcelino's poker career, but with a new baby coming, she wishes he would choose something else.
Mhm. Yeah, she's like, "Listen, dude, we have to have a conversation." And she's just confronting him about his poker career and just being like, "This is not gonna cut it. Like, you need an actual job that has a guaranteed income because this is sketchy." It, there's no telling whether or not this dude's gonna come home with a paycheck or whether he's gonna lose money.
But he must be doing okay because they have a nice house. They don't seem to be hurting for money. And she does admit, like, this is working now, but it makes me nervous with another baby coming. To have three
Mhm.
kids and then us relying solely on your income from poker makes me a little uncomfortable, which is understandable.
Yeah, well, one of the other reasons is that their attorney bills have amounted to $30,000. So that's another big part of this. And this is because they have this fight going on with Tito, because right now they have 100% physical custody. But since they've started this battle and Tito's in it, now he has to prove his sobriety in order to get his custody back. But this was all started by Marcelino confronting Tito and starting this legal battle. Should it have happened? Yes, absolutely, because you need to know who has custody of your child, what rights you have, what rights they have. It had to happen.
It didn't have to happen the way it happened.
No. No, but even still, they still were going to have a legal battle, and no matter what, custody fights in court are very expensive. I've been through them.
They are very expensive, yeah. So, Marcelino says he's concerned about money, but what he's doing is working. And you wouldn't feel like a strong sense to go do something you don't wanna do if what you're doing at that, you know what I mean? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
And I've known professional poker players, and it is absolutely a job. I've actually known someone whose son was a professional video poker player. If you're good at it, you're good at it. The thing is that you have to be very, very good with your money and make sure that if you lose, it's not going to make you homeless. So I'm
Right.
assuming they're being smart with their money because they're living a pretty good life.
Now, he says as far as his hopes and dreams, what he wants for his future is to become a poker champion. So this is his career path as far as he's concerned. I mean, his ideal career path, at least.
Yeah, so what she just really wants is for him to even get a part-time job that at least guarantees some sort of income.
But he tells her that she thinks it's easy, but it's not. And she's like, I don't think it's easy at all. And she says that people think that she's a piece of shit because of her record. They immediately judge her.
Mhm. Yeah, she's like, "Well, do you think I could go out and find a job with my felonies?" Yes, you could go out and find a job. It's not gonna be the best job, but you can. And we do know Brittany is doing fantastic in life, and she actually owns her own business. So it can be done if you work at it. It can absolutely be done.
So Marcelino says he's not going to work as a 41-year-old man taking orders from a 23-year-old snot-nosed kid. I
I get it.
understand the feeling, yeah, but
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, my boss is just slightly older than my oldest child. So I totally get it.
Yeah.
Although he's not an arrogant, snot-nosed kid, but you would never know he's, like, 32 years old, but still, I understand it. But that's just how it fucking goes. It's just how it goes. So, she's just like she says, "I'm not saying to go flip burgers, but I'm almost 30 years old, and I'm not just sitting in the background crying about how I never went to high school." So she's just like, "Well, hey, I'm not sitting here going, I never did this, I never did that." Like he is, whereas like, "Oh, that's not possible, I can't." You know? He can.
Right. So she tells him he needs to stop making all of the excuses, stop deflecting.
Yeah.
Next up, Lacey, John, and Shane. And Shane and Lacey are walking through the new house, and she says she gets 3 closets, and he says the shower is better than a prison shower.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he also says, "Man, this is bigger than the apartment." Yeah, no shit. It's a damn house. It looks like a pretty nice house too. He's like, "Oh, the floors are so shiny." All the stuff a 22-year-old would say.
Then he takes her over and he bends her over in the shower and he's like bouncing his butt off of her. And I'm just telling you, that's classy as fuck, man.
I know, it just keeps up with the grossness of this show that they just have to do. And also, I don't know if you said that he's like, "Well, where am I gonna put my stuff?" And she's like, "In the dresser."
Yeah. All of these closets are mine.
All of them. The kids don't get anything either.
You guys can pile your clothes in the corner.
Yep.
So she tells him that he needs to chill because her dad is bringing the kids home.
And the dad does come in with the kids, and the kids are so cute. They're she's
They
got some
really
cute
are.
kids. Yeah.
Shane gives the kids a tour of the house, but then he's comforting one of the boys who's crying. They don't really make it clear why he's upset, just maybe that the move could be overwhelming, it seems like.
Yeah, because we don't know if possible maybe they moved into a different school district
Right.
or where they might have moved or just something it's upsetting because maybe they lived in that apartment for a very long time. This is a new house. I who knows? They didn't really say.
So Lacey goes out back with her dad and says Shane has no idea what's going on with John. And here we're
Mhm.
reminded of what she's doing.
Mhm. She says, "I planned on putting John behind me, but then he just texts me out of the blue, and the texts that he's been sending are pretty scary."
And they would be, but I feel like she is kind of egging stuff along. Like she doesn't want to let go of John and she's making it harder for him. You know what I mean? She needs him to hang on for her ego.
Yeah. The best thing she can do for John, if this is really what's happening here, is just let him go. You don't need this man in your life. You found out that he is not the father of your child.
Right.
You decided to walk away. What you're doing is making things worse. It's not helping anyone. It's making things worse. She's leading him on. And if you're already having a mental struggle with this, it's just going to make it worse, not better.
Right. Yeah. And telling her dad, oh, I care about him as a person. That's not true. I mean, you may, but that's not why you're doing this.
Didn't she say she wanted him dead and out of her life and that she never wanted to see him again?
I hate him. He's a piece of shit. I love him as a person.
Yeah, she cares about him so much that she wanted him gone, and she's very thankful that Marlo's not his son. Yeah,
Exactly.
whatever. Whatever.
But her dad tells her, like, listen, you need to be honest with Shane. This shit has got to stop. You are going down a road that you will not be able to come back from.
He also says, which we know that dad is spitting the truth here. If roles were reversed and he had a woman in the background, that she'd have burnt that mattress somewhere and have lit that woman up.
Yeah. And she's always stating the obvious. She says if Shane found out about John, he would be very angry. Well, you fucking think.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, he'd be fine with it. He'd be fine that you're hiding stuff from him and texting your ex in the background. He'd be cool with it. Don't worry about it.
He would be extra happy to find out that right before you got married, you called him.
You know, on your actual wedding day while you're standing there in your wedding gown with your giant eyelashes.
Next up, Andrea and Lamar. And Lamar shows off his discharge card and says he's officially off parole.
That's wonderful. He's back in prison, right? Though, isn't he
I
right
believe
now?
so, yeah. But he did get off parole this time, so.
Yeah. Well, we don't know if it's prison or jail. We have no idea. But I mean, we could look it up, but I'm not going to. If I put it in the group, they'll have 9 million different reasons why I'm wrong. And someone has said the bullshit story that they saw them grocery shopping in the grocery store where they live.
I'm sure. I'm sure they did.
Whatever. We know they're divorced, but people have argued with us that they're not divorced when Andrea herself has said that they're divorced.
I don't
Whatever.
know. We only know what they tell us.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes from the actual human being, though, it's probably true and not just some random person on Facebook who's just making shit up.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's been in the system since he was 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old. What he means by that is he's been in foster care since then. That's very, very sad.
Mm-hmm. And he's doing a rap video, like music session kind of thing. And we find out that he's with Dulo. And this is where we find out that Dulo got shot. So some guys pulled up and opened the shot about 7 times, he said. But Dulo somehow only managed to get shot in the foot once, I believe.
And I thought I heard that this was like 3 in the morning. So what is Dulo doing at 3 in the morning? I mean, I guess he could have been at a club or a bar and just driving home. But this makes Andrea right because it fits with the dangers of LA. So this is just gonna fuel her fire here. Look, Dulo got shot. She's gonna just be all over this shit.
Of course she is, but you can get shot in Utah too. It's not like being shot is exclusive to LA.
Definitely not. You can never get shot in Utah, guys. You can go there.
Doesn't
You
happen.
can walk this. Nope, doesn't happen. You can walk the streets all night long. You can even be wielding a weapon and no one will shoot you.
It's fine. So Dulo asks him what he's going to do if she refuses to come back to LA. And he was like, oh, I'd be hurt.
He says, and Andrea doesn't like LA. We all know this. And he's just expressing that I believe that Lamar actually really does love his wife. I really believe that. He's saying things that make it seem like this is a real thing. He says, I was upset that she left here and she went back to Utah. I miss our life together. I miss the mess. I miss the kids. I miss the craziness.
He does say that he needs to go to Utah and see her. So he FaceTimes her and says he thought she wasn't going to answer the phone. And she's like, oh, I had to hide my boyfriend.
She is funny. She does have a good sense of humor. I do like when Andrea is funny like that. We didn't like her so much the last time we covered her, but so far she's fine. So far, so far. Yeah, he wants to come out and see the kids, and he doesn't want to feel like he's lost her forever. You don't say things like that if you're not meaning them.
So he tells her to stop talking like that, or he's going to start thinking she found herself a new Mormon man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. He wants the kids and Andrea to come back home to LA to be with him.
So she tells him that he left them, and he was like, no, no, we live where I am. You left me.
It's true. He did not leave anywhere. She and the kids moved to LA. And she decided, no, now we're going back to Utah. And he was like, no, we live here. And all that happened is he just didn't leave with her. So technically, Lamar is correct. Andrea is the one that left.
Right. She tried to force him, but she did leave. She left their house.
Hmm.
Next up, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. And Megan's dad answers the door to Michael.
Ugh. All right. So Megan says that her dad wants to meet Michael face to face. But does he?
I think he
Does
wants to
he? Does he?
tell him, like, scare him.
Yeah, he doesn't, like, want to meet him to have coffee and be play nicey nice. He wants to
Mm-mm.
confront Michael. She said it's important that her dad approves of Michael because family is important to her. Your Megan, your dad is never going to approve of Michael.
And he shouldn't, because if he does, later on, when you're over all this nonsense, you're going to look back and be like, what were you thinking, Dad? Why did you let me do that?
Yeah. So Michael is going to clear the air and he says, I don't expect anything. But I just want to talk to you. And dad says, are you married or are you divorced? That is a great lead-in question.
Right. He says he's getting divorced, and her dad's like, okay, but when is it final? And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, you don't. You're still not divorced.
And he is not the one that initiated the divorce. Sarah did. And he just says, well, the paperwork has been filed. Yeah, just because that's what you've been told, Michael, it doesn't mean that that actually happened.
Yeah, but he always just says whatever he wants.
Uh-huh.
Her dad asks if she's seen any of this supposed paperwork about the divorce, and she says no. But why would he come out if it wasn't true? Because he's a liar.
Oh, because he's been so fucking honest up to this point. Of course he came there. And honestly, in thinking the way Michael does, if I'm putting myself in Michael's shoes, he's like, if I travel all the way down there, she's going to think I'm telling the truth, right? And that's exactly what's happened here.
Right. Well, her dad tells him that he's got 2.5 strikes in his eyes. So tread carefully.
Yeah, Dad's just like, don't you find it strange that he can't tell me when the divorce would be final? You would know, you would have an inkling as to when this would be happening or your next court date or something. I mean, he may not be able to tell when a divorce is going to be final, especially if it's like new proceedings, but he'd at least be able to tell them, here's my court date. And he said
Right.
nothing like that. Yeah.
So dad asks him if he has any side kids, and he says no. And then he says, okay, well, how old is your baby? And he says, 4 months old. And her dad says, and how long have you two been dating? Megan says, 3 years. Huh.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, Piece of shit. But his dad says, how do you feel about my daughter? And Michael says, of course he says, I love her.
Of
Sure you
course.
do.
Right.
And then dad says, Megan just needs to find someone else.
Yeah, her dad says what's done in the dark will always come to the light. I don't think Michael can decipher what he's saying there, but
No. And he warns Michael that he has a lot of friends in criminal justice.
Right? But Megan says she's not the same gullible person that she once was, and her dad is like, really?
Yes, because so much time has passed. The baby is how old now? What did we say?
4
4
months.
months?
Mm-hmm.
So in 4 months, she's become a different person. Okay,
Right.
she's grown. So he says, I'm going to be watching and I'd take a bullet for her.
And he tells her, he says, if somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
Yeah.
One of the things she mentions about Michael is that she loves the way he loves his kids. And all I could think about is like, oh, you mean like not answering at all? Not talking to
Yeah.
your children?
Oh my God. She means the way that he acts like he likes his kids or loves his kids. He's barely with them. He's barely been around Aviana or the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen the baby once or twice.
Once, as far as I know.
So she loves the way he loves his kids from afar for no good reason. Is this what we're saying?
The way he says he loves his kids.
The way he
No
says.
actual contribution.
He can't even take the time to answer the phone to his daughter. And he also gives Sarah zero financial help. How is
Right.
this taking care of or loving your kids, Megan? How doesn't this give you a foreshadowing as to how your life's going to go? You're not special. He's done this before and he will do it again.
He absolutely will. Do it with you, they will do it to you.
Yeah. And it's always true.
Next up, Brittany and Marcelino. And Marcelino's on the way to an interview with a recruiter to find a job.
Hmm. He's dressed in a very nice suit. He gets in and he's speaking to the man, and he says he has a formal education and a street education. And that basically the recruiter is like, well, tell me what you'd like to do. And he said, well, I'd like to be in education. Well, Marcelino, you can't just walk in and be a teacher. So this works.
Well, we do find out that he has a bachelor's in Latin American studies and a master's in public administration, which is worth something. But with,
Yeah.
I feel like this was set up because I think he could find a job if he wanted to he could find a 9 to 5 if that's what he really wanted to do.
Yeah. The problem is how long he's 40 years old. How long ago did he obtain these degrees? Because not all degrees translate 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? And if he hasn't been working in any of the fields that he studied in, he's not going to walk into a job. Um, it's not always the way it goes, because you can say, hey, I have all this education, but yet I haven't used any of my degrees ever. And you try to walk into a job in education, and that's just not going to be how it goes. He may have to go back to school and maybe get some more updated credits. I don't know what he needs to do, but we do know that he was in the service and that he's just been a professional poker player, but we haven't heard that he's worked in any other job.
He was a model before he became a Marine.
Well, oh,
So
okay.
they showed some pictures of him.
He's a good-looking guy. I mean, all right, let's be honest. If Marcelino really tried, he could absolutely make decent money with social media. He has all the makings to do that, and I think that he does try. He does some lives and stuff. We were supposed to have him on the show, but things came up, so that's not happening. But he is very nice.
He's very nice.
And people do, contrary to what he believes, people do really like him, and they do really like Brittany. For the most part, he is one of the least hated people from the
Right.
show thus far. So,
Yeah. So we find out from this recruiter that he knows none of like any Excel or any of the software that he would need to know. And the recruiter basically says to him, like, if you can support yourself playing poker, why are you even here? And he's like, oh, it's stability. I need to have a good week every week. I can't have bad weeks and bad months with 3 little kids.
I mean, yeah. And this goes back to what I was saying is he basically is like, "Do you know Microsoft Office products?" And he says no. So he can't just walk into the jobs that his education would afford him. He does need to know how to use computers and computer software. Um, and I'm with the recruiter. I just feel like if this is what has earned you money and gambling is it, I would go with it. I would literally go with it. I would just work harder at that. I mean, that's what I would do.
If it's working, do it more. I don't know.
Yeah, explore other ways to get more money. I mean, especially because he's now been on, at this point, on a television show that has been televised. So, what about the that poker championship that they put on TV? I mean, he's now a public figure, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
But the recruiter says that he has an overinflated value of himself. And they certainly made it look that way. I don't know if that was all for dramatics or he really is that way, but I feel like they try to play him off being way too confident all the
I
time.
think I think he is a confident person. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, that's kind of all we've seen of him. So to take all of that and piece that all together and make this person, I kind of think that that's actually the way that he is, but it's not a terrible thing. I mean, it's not a
No,
terrible thing. No.
but the recruiter tells him to figure out what he really wants to do. And he ends up saying that the recruiter showed him the mirror and he feels like this pressure mounting.
Hmm. Yeah. Brittany does call him, asks how the job interview went, and he says, "Good, and I'll tell you about it later."
Yeah.
He knows he's in for some shit.
Back to Andrea and Lamar, and she has the kids making signs to welcome Lamar home.
Yeah, she says, "Tennyson, can Lamar share a room with you?" And Tennyson says, "You guys are still married."
Right, that was so stupid. Could he sleep in your room? No, idiot.
You know that's not what she's gonna actually do. And then she says, "Oh, partially." And Tennyson's like, "Well, what the hell does that mean?"
Right. And she says that he'll sleep on the couch next to the TV. That's what it means.
Yeah, as she's making up the couch or the futon or whatever the hell that was, you know that that is not what's gonna happen once that man walks in the door.
No. Come on now. Nyla says she's glad he's coming so he can teach her to drive.
Yeah, and Tennyson says that mom is in this weird teenagery mode where she doesn't want him to come home, but she actually does. E her kids are so self-aware and so down to earth that it is scary. These are like
Yeah,
little adults.
she has amazing kids.
Yeah.
Andrea says they need to sit the kids down and tell them that Priscilla is Lamar's daughter.
Yeah, the fact that they don't know this is crazy. Like, no one was like, "Oh, who's Priscilla's dad then?" No one asked this question.
At all. It seems like even the adults didn't ask that question.
She's just got this nameless, faceless person that is this child's dad. No one asked. She never had to explain, not to the kids, not to her Mormon girlfriends, even though she's not supposed to have sex while she's not married. What?
She's just so ridiculous. I just hate when people claim to be holier than thou and really they're doing nothing that they preach.
Mhm.
So she says she hopes he comes to his senses and realizes they can't raise a family while living in two different states.
Okay, but she's the one that caused this living in in 2 different states. We're ignoring that. So she's super nervous. She calls him and he doesn't answer. They're at the airport now waiting for him at the bottom of the escalator. Um and the plane apparently landed a while ago, so they're all kind of thinking that he's not actually coming.
She says, "Where is this dude?" And Tennyson's like, "Dude, really, Mom?"
Yeah,
She says if he doesn't show up, they don't have to worry about her ever talking to him again. I don't know why they try to
Mhm.
pretend he's not going to show up. Lamar was always going to show up.
They knew he got on the plane. You know that she knew the instant his phone went on airplane mode. Come on.
Right. There was no way Lamar was going to call her and then ask to come out and then not come out.
I know he's not Michael. What's happening here? We know Lamar's a decent guy.
And for dramatic effect, Andrea says that she shouldn't have gotten her hopes up. Next, we check in with Megan, Michael, and Sarah briefly. And Megan has taken Michael out line dancing, and he's wearing a cowboy hat.
They're both wearing cowboy hats. And why in the world did that cowboy hat look so strange on Michael? Did it not fit him? What was going on?
According to B, it's because of his forehead.
It must have been. I was thinking, is this dude's head really as big as people say it is? Because that hat was just sitting on the top of the head. It wasn't actually on his.
It was distracting for sure.
Yeah, okay, so you noticed it too.
Oh, yeah, as soon as it came on.
He says that all these people have rhythm, especially the instructor, but he and Megan look to be like struggling a little bit.
He says normally when he's dancing, he's trying to feel the booty and he needs all the cheeks on him.
Can he be any more just vile?
Probably, actually. I'm sure he gets worse. Back to Andrea and Lamar comes down the escalator and hugs everyone. But when he tries to hug her, she turns her back to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says it's good to see the family again, and he's tired of being lonely. And then there's this really strange scene where they just see a bunch of missionaries, and Andrea gets so excited, she's like a groupie. And she goes up to them and she's like, "Oh, my son is about to go on a mission." And they look so weirded out. This woman.
I don't know. It was definitely weird and everybody was uncomfortable. She made Lamar come over and and shake everybody's hand and introduce himself.
It was so weird. And of course, she says that the Heavenly Father set that up perfectly. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say that the show set this up because that was way too weird of a coincidence to just have 20 or 25 missionaries just standing there in their suits with their name tags. It was just, how does that happen? They're in the exact same area.
I
So
don't
yeah,
know.
so weird.
Andrea said that the reason she didn't want to hug Lamar was because he would hang on too long to her.
Oh, ugh, come on.
And he says, she looks like she's not fucking with me, but it feels good to be reunited. Now, his goal is to get her to go back to LA. Her goal is to get him to stay in Utah. And that's kind of where we stand at this point.
Yeah, they're riding in the car and he's trying to go with there's nothing in Utah at this point. He goes, "Oh, look to my left. I see nothing." Because
Right.
these two have just like a very good sense of humor. And then Lamar says to her that there was a dude shot in Utah, a guy in Utah that got shot, trying to prove that people do, in fact, get shot in Utah.
Well, she says that in Utah, you don't have to worry about getting shot. And he goes, I've never been shot. And Tennyson goes, well, have you ever been shot at? And he goes, people get shot everywhere.
It's true, though. It's true, though. You can get shot anywhere. And isn't there a study that says that like more murders happen in like high upper class areas? Like
I
household
don't know.
murders happen in high. I'm gonna look that up and I'll send it to you, but I'm like 99% sure. I mean, we're talking street shootings. You have to be in the wrong place at the at the right time to be shot in a street, I think. I mean, I've been many places and I've never been shot at, and I definitely do not and have not lived in the best of areas.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risk you take anywhere, unfortunately. He says, "What can Utah offer that Cali can't?" And Tennyson says, "Guaranteed safety." And she said, "It's safer and there's a better quality of life and lower cost of living."
She's probably right about the lower cost of living, definitely, because I don't think there's any area in LA where it's cheap to live. So for that, she's probably right. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. She says that she could kill Lamar, but she's still very much in love with him.
And he says that they are going to have to agree to disagree about Utah. Back to Lacey, Shane, and John. And Shane finds Lacey's phone and sees the messages between her and her friend about John.
Yeah, he shouldn't do this, but he does. He was standing in the kitchen. Her phone just happens to be there between some boxes, and he takes it upon himself to look at it. Apparently, she doesn't have her screen locked. But I don't know if you noticed this, but Shane keeps calling John Sean. He did it several times. I caught it. I don't
No, I
know if he
didn't.
was just speaking quickly or maybe he was drinking, but I kept hearing Sean. I don't know. So she says that Shane is being controlling and that she doesn't like being told what to do. I would guess that Shane has every right to be pissed about this right now. That is not being controlling. Maybe looking in her phone isn't right, but ultimately, he's right to be mad about this.
Well, he says that she's been acting suspicious all day. He goes outside to where she's standing to confront her. And he tells her, he says, "I'm a good man and I haven't done anything to you." And she's like, "You need to stop being so insecure."
Um, this would make anyone insecure, even the most secure person
Absolutely.
insecure. If you're a person that you love and that he really hasn't done anything behind her back, we haven't seen anything. If it happened, the show would definitely have told us. So he's right. I mean, he can't trust her at this point, and he's known before that she's been shady. And Lacey just is like, "We're done. I'm done. We're done." Yeah, you because you got caught. So now that you got caught, now you're like, "I'm done. We're done," because you're being a brat.
Right. Shane throws something at the wall when he goes back inside, and she tells him that their neighbors are outside and they just moved in. That's what I was thinking this whole time. Like, he's outside screaming and they're arguing back and forth. They literally just moved in minutes ago.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That's not a very good um reputation you're giving yourselves in that neighborhood, and it looked like a pretty nice neighborhood. I maybe would have brought the conversation inside. Then again, there are camera crews and people must be already wondering what's going on top of the loud argument. Sheen says, "We're married," and Lacey's like, "Well, that can be easily changed." Come on. Come
Right.
on.
He kicks the cameras out of the house, I guess forgetting they're still wearing their microphones or that they're in the house. They
Yeah,
could just be in the house.
I don't know. We don't know how this is all set up.
Back to Megan, Michael, and Sarah, and Emmy shows up at Sarah's, and Sarah says she needs to go out.
Yeah, she wants to go out and have a good time. And she says, "If I could snap my fingers and be divorced, I would." So the reason why she wants to go out is because she's found a lot of stuff that Michael's been doing behind her back again.
Right, she went through his phone bills and found calls to Georgia, Florida, Maine, New York, all over the place. He's talking to women all over the country. And Emmy's like, "He's using
Mhm.
the phone you pay for to cheat on you." And Sarah goes, "Yep."
Yeah, she found his bank statements, all kinds of stuff. And at this point, the very first thing I would do if I were Sarah is I would contact the one person who you absolutely know for a fact this man has cheated on you with, and I would literally take pictures of it. I would send it off to her. But that's me. Um, so he's been using the phone that she pays for, contacting women, and then she gets to the bank statements. And these are Cash App statements where he's been getting money from all of these women that he's talking to. All of these dumbasses are sending this guy money, and we always wonder where the hell these people get money from. Well, apparently Michael is funding his life by way of all these women that he talks to. So he's literally getting a paycheck from all of these women by way of Cash App, which is crazy to me. So all these small increments is leading up to an income for this guy.
Sarah said that he's made over $1,200 so far just from the Cash Apps. And she says a bunch of hoes are paying for you to live, and that's your priority, not your kids, but all of these women that you're talking to and having them send you money.
Yeah, keeping up with the fact that this dude is just a piece of fucking shit, man. I mean, a piece of shit. He doesn't give her any money towards the girls. So, although $1,200 isn't a good income, it's affording this guy to at least eat and maybe buy some shit. And obviously, travel to see Megan, unless the show paid for that. I don't know. But why is
I
Sarah
bet they did.
paying? Yeah, but why is she paying for his phone? She says he pays for the phone so that he can talk to the children, but we see that he doesn't use that phone to talk to the children. So cancel it, block it, shut it off.
And her and Emmy are talking about what a bad father Michael is. And Sarah says, I know he's a good person because I fell in love with something. Sometimes it's hard to admit that you were just wrong. You were just wrong about somebody and they aren't anything that you thought they were. And Emmy's like, no,
No,
no, he had potential, but he doesn't anymore. Like at some point there was something to him, but that's gone.
no, he's going down a path of just disaster. He's not getting better. He's getting worse. Worse. There is no he's at the point of no return. We know and we've said Michael just keeps on getting arrested and keeps on doing shitty stuff. Why women even want to have anything to do with this dude, I have no idea.
I haven't the slightest. Emmy says she hates Michael and he ruins everyone's day. And I know you said that she was talking about canceling the phone service. Did you mention she's also canceling the car insurance and health insurance too?
No, but why the hell does she have him on this stuff? That's crazy.
Right?
Crazy.
Yep, because they're still legally married, so she can.
But yeah, I know. So that's the thing. She can cancel his phone and the car insurance, but the health insurance, no, she's stuck with that. She's stuck. So, oh, she's in such a bad spot. And she says she's done. Go through with the divorce, man. Go through with it because this dude, he clearly doesn't want any sort of contact with his children. You could easily walk away from this guy. He's already not paying you anything towards the children's lives. If you just want to completely get rid of him, I guarantee you he'd sign the kids over to her in a heartbeat. It's just so that
I
he will
think
be
I
he
don't
because
think so.
if he didn't, he'd be responsible for child support if she ever fought him on that.
I still don't think he'd sign away his rights because it
No.
would upset his mom and make him look bad. And that's
Oh,
the only
there's
reason.
mom. Yeah, it's the only reason. It's mom and his family, but yeah, but for him, he wouldn't care.
So she says that moving in silence is the best thing for when it comes to him, and it's time to manipulate the manipulator.
Yeah.
We wrap this week up with Angela and Tony, and Angela is burning Tony's stuff in the front yard, and she says it's very sad to watch.
Yeah. It's hard to watch Tony's shit burn all the stuff she bought for him. He'd burn the bike too. I'd light it on fire while he's riding it.
There you go. Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Uh, she said that his stuff brought back memories of their time together. I guess just the notes is what she's talking about. Because
I
what
don't
else?
know. And she's like crying as she's putting his stuff on the fire, but she doesn't stop. It doesn't stop her at all. She's still just laying it on there, going to town.
I mean, just think about this though. Like, it's bad enough if the person you're with cheats on you, but this is like above and beyond cheating. This is prostitutes, many prostitutes. This is threesomes. This is highly disturbing behavior. This is not just normal cheating. It's dangerous.
Well, like we talked about before, it's okay if Tony wants to accept high risk behavior. That's something that he's agreeing to. The problem is Angela has never agreed to participate in this high risk lifestyle.
Yeah.
Tony pulls up on his motorcycle and asks if she's burning his stuff. And she goes, "Yeah, I told you to be here before dark."
Yeah, he truly thought that she just wasn't going to do it because and why wouldn't he? Because she's repeatedly let this guy get away with murder. So he's thinking she's not serious. And he's showing that he didn't think she was serious because he shows up after dark. And he's like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
she's not going to actually do it. I feel like he pulled up after dark on fucking purpose to try to prove that this woman wasn't going to do it. Well, joke's on you, buddy, because she burnt all your shit.
And he says, "I understand you're mad and I hurt you, but I'm sorry." And she's like, "You're always sorry. What are you going to do different? You know nothing."
Yeah. And then he says, he's like, oh, I'll get the help I need. And she's like, you were already supposed to have gotten that help.
Right.
Exactly. Like, he did it. It is the lies and the lies and the gaslighting and the gaslighting. And she says, I am not letting you into my house. And he goes, don't you mean our house? This bitch. It is not your house. You did not buy that. You do not pay the bills. You
Motherfucking moist Tony.
Oh my god, that is not your fucking house. This freaking piece of shit guy, that is not your house.
She tells him that he decided to have sex with prostitutes and she's disgusted, and to put himself in her shoes. And he's like, "Let's just agree to work on things." So he's not acknowledging anything she's saying.
No. He says, you still love me, right? Come on.
Ugh,
And then he says, I'm not going to hurt you again. Sure. Sure you're
bullshit,
not.
bullshit.
You've proven that you would cheat on this woman the second you were a free man. The second.
Angela claims she doesn't know if she still loves him. And she's saying that she's afraid of being hurt again. He goes, "Well, I would never do that to you, not again." And she's like, "How do I know that?" "Because I love you." It's not even good. It's not smooth.
Not even an entire day has passed and he's already like, oh, I'll never do it again.
Yeah. So she says that she's too hurt and she would hate herself if she let him walk back through that door right now. And that, man, that had to have taken some strength. You know what I mean? Because she does love him.
Well, I believe that she does, but and here's the thing: we can all say, "Oh, well, this person hurt me, and they're a piece of shit, and this and that," but it's you're not going to not love them within 5 minutes of
Mm-hmm.
knowing that they hurt you. We've all been through that, and it can take years and years and years and years and years of the constant hurt, and you'll still love the person. And just because they finally do that one final thing, it doesn't mean that you're right dead there stopping your tracks and be like, all right, now I don't love you anymore. That's not how this works.
Right. He tells her that she can't give up on him. And she says, yes, she can because it's her life. Right
Yeah,
on, Angela. And he begs to come inside. And she says, nope.
because he says, just let me back in. And then he says, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get her back. That's how it ends.
And who is your VIP for this week?
Megan's dad.
Oh yeah.
I was really hoping he was gonna like reach across the table and just swing him out the door, like from the table, and like have the door open and just throw him.
Yeah. Ragdoll him across the fucking yard.
Yeah,
And your
with his big
POS?
forehead. Tony. Absolutely Tony. It could have been Michael, but it's gotta be Tony.
I chose forehead as my piece of shit for this week. So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, oh babe, now that's validation. We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, don't mess up, I said, bet. Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said, don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.